So as per our study, what we have studied here, we are going to, I have briefed what is algorithm, okay, how to write the step by step instructions to solve a given problem to get the result. So that is what practically I have shown. What are algorithms? Algorithms what? A step by step set of sequence of step by step instructions to solve a given problem. To solve a given, our problem is what? Addition of two numbers. As per that step by step instructions I have written, and finally I have achieved the result. So that is algorithm. So next, what is data structure? We need to understand that. Data, our topic is data structures and algorithms. Algorithms I have briefed in different languages. I have written the code in C and Python also in different IDEs. For C I have used code blocks. This is called code blocks. This is the IDE environment. Okay. For in Python I have used PyCharm. Okay. Now try to understand the data structure. Data structures, I told you that data is to be stored. Otherwise, data is to be organized in different ways. It is to be structured in different ways. Same thing. Data structure means how data can be stored in different structures. Okay, structure is what? It is one type of structure. Within that we will store the data. So data structure is a way to store data. So we organize the data in different ways depending on what type of data we have. So what type of data I have, that data that is to be structured in different ways. Okay, on that what we want to do with the data. Suppose if I have data and how the data is to be stored, okay, how the data can be structured, okay, by that what I want to do it. Okay, so simple example I want to explain. Suppose if I have a family data, okay, so if I want to store data about people we are related to means what? Suppose if I have a data, I want to store that data which is about relation, people relation is what? Is a family data. If I have a family data, I want to store it. So that time which structure I will use here? A family tree as a data structure. Family tree, the data is C. I am here. Me means I am Vasu. I have father and mother. So I am from, my parents are Clav and Lil. See here, understand that my father is Krishnaya, my mother is Narayanamma. So I am the son of these parents. So these parents, this father is the son of Emma and Carl. Okay, so Emma and Carl's son is Lil. Okay, Lil, I am the son of these two. Like this, it is a family tree. Okay, try to understand. Okay, so suppose if I have a data which is of a family data, so how to organize that data? It is a family data, so surely I will choose the family data structure to store that data. So that is what data structures. Data structures will be used to store the data. Okay, and as per your data you will choose which data type, which data structure is will be suitable to you. Okay, so within this data structure, what are the so it is this data structure in front of you. It is easy to understand that by this we can understand that. Okay, simple. So there are, in computer science there are two different kinds of data structures. Two types of data structures are there. One is primitive data structure. Primitive data structure means the basic data structures we are using to store the data. Such examples, integers, we have studied in all languages, either it be C, C++, Python, Java. Integers, basic data structures we use. Primitive means basic data structures normally we use to store the data. They are what, suppose if you want to store numbers, all negative and positive numbers without decimal points, so normally we use integers. So if any negative and positive numbers with decimal values, we will use floating point numbers. If I want to store characters, so characters are the data structure we will store the data, and booleans will be used to store the boolean values. So these are called primitive data structures, that the basic data structures in provide any programming language to represent single values. Here try to understand, these all will be used to store single values, not for multiple values. So let us practically see how primitive data structures like integers, floating point numbers, characters will be used to store the data. So now come here. Here try to understand, this is which type of data structure? It is integer. Okay, this is what? Integer. So if I put this is what now, 10.5, it is a float variable. It stores floating point values. So now what happened here, this is the integer variable, it is storing integer value, this variable storing float value. So I have used two types of data structures here, two types of variables here. They will store integer and float. Suppose if I want to store boolean value here, so I can create a variable here. So simply you say anything yes. Okay, yes means in Python true, boolean value. So now if I want to get this the value assigned to this variable, s is a variable which is holding the boolean value. So if I want to get the print of this, simply use print bracket, call that variable holding this boolean value. So whenever you run this code, you will get the s value true. What is the value stored in this s variable? True. So I am getting this true value. So understood that? So now I have used a data structure. Okay, that data structure stores this boolean value. So boolean data, this is called boolean data structure, this is called float data structure, this is called integer data structure. These are all called primitive data structures to store. These are called primitive data structure, the basic data structures by providing all languages. Any language they will support, like your Python, Java. So to store single values, here I have stored only single value. If I want to store multiple value here for this data structure, so it will give error, type error. Okay, type error. Okay, so remove this one now here. Okay, it will give the result now. If I want to store multiple values, okay, So now come to the point, the basic data structures are called primitive data structures to represent single values